We now join the following program already in progress.
This was the story of a family that made a weekly video show, and the show was symbolized through these footprints in the sand, and for most of the time you could see 3 sets of footprints, but there were times where you would just see 1 set of footprints, and the daughters bitterly complained to their father, "Father, why did you forsake us? You left us during these crucial times during the show." And the father smiled and looked back at his daughters and said, my dear children, those were the times when I carried you. I carried the show. You did nothing. You were goofing off. And I finished the show. So, let this be a lesson to you.
Descended from the same family tree as Lancelot Link, Curious George, and the Space Monkeys of yore, a simple family rock band has dared to go where no band has gone before. In these pandemic times, we need Secret Monkey Weekend now more than ever. So without any further ado, settle into your favorite chair, call your neighbors, because it's time for the Secret Monkey Quarantine Half-Hour Show.
Raise your right paw, your right hoof, your right tentacle, whatever you might have.
I shall sing no song that is not a secret monkey song. I shall make no record that is not a secret monkey record. I refuse to be known as anything but a secret monkey singer. I am proud to be associated with the secret monkey music. Secret monkey music and secret monkey fans made me what I am today, and I shall not forget it.
Next, a short film by Lila. And now, a song by Mitch Easter.
Just how many ways to gravitate in inner space, age flight? Sometimes we pretend to levitate like the laws of nature violate our rights. Hey you, what's with you? Uncertainty, principle proved. Pale in the sun, parched in the rain. Attention marauders, here's fair game. Think of something fast, better make it last, or be forever famed as phantoms of ephemera. If not actionable, cause threadbare. Choose humdrum or uncouth. Unnerved by all these dire brigades and the baleful glare of poison youth. But you, what's with you? Uncertainty, principle root. Pale in the sun, parched in the rain. Attention marauders, here's fair game. Think of something fast, better make it last, or be forever famed as the phantoms of ephemera. something fast. Better make it last, or be forever famed as the phantoms of ephemera.
Guest is a record producer and recording artist and 2019 inductee into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame. We'd like to welcome to the Secret Monkey Quarantine Half-Hour Show, Mitch Easter.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
We're really happy.
The royal we.
Well, one of the reasons we started the show is that we don't gig anymore. Basically, I don't think anybody does, except for maybe if they're on some television show or something.
Right.
But that's kind of the way we've been staying in touch with the music community. Now you're primarily in the recording end of it, and the pandemic has taken a different direction for what you're doing. How have you been dealing with the last 6 months?
As soon as it was clear that things were really happening, we shut down the studio. And it happened in the course of a week over one session. I mean, it was really interesting because these guys at the beginning of the week were concerned that maybe their kids would be sent home early from school or something. And they're restaurant owners. And by the end of the week, they were closing the restaurant and figuring out how to pay their employees. I mean, it really happened quickly that we got the message that this is, for real. And so we just thought it would be irresponsible not to close this place down, because the studio is like a place where people are very close together and touching everything and singing, So, but I have a lot of work to do mixing. A lot of this stuff that we started a while back was finished but not mixed, so I did some of that over the summer. I still have some of that, and eventually we'll do sessions again, but we're not going to rush it. We want to be responsible.
Yeah. Well, I was researching for the show, and I looked at your website and I noticed that you did have a statement about being closed. So I think that was a very responsible way to go about it. Not enough people should probably look at it that way.
I mean, I understand that people want to get back to doing the thing they love to do, and it is a beautiful thing, but we wouldn't feel too beautiful if we felt like somebody got sick here. Yeah. And it's just like that. I mean, that's the only thing. We just are going by reality.
Yeah.
But I think the time has been useful. A lot of people I know writing songs, and getting stuff done, that they kind of needed a bit of a break from the degree of busyness they normally had to be able to think about some other things. So it's not all bad.
Yeah.
Bad,
I think,
but it's not bad for what else has happened around it.
Sure. Yeah, a lot of people have sort of taken some different directions. I know Parthenon Huxley has about once a month he has a video show he puts out called the Pandemic House Guide, which is a lot of fun, and Don Dixon has become a frequent contributor to that. And then we do this. We've been doing this every week since June. I think we had one break, and then our final show. This is our final show for the season 1, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but our other guest is your friend Will Rigby.
Oh, great!
Yeah, we're still working with him about an interview and what kind of music he wants to do. He did send us a video that we aired back in the late summer. Trying to think of the title. Something about Corazon was in the scene. Corazon. It was no heart, without a heart, or heartless. Well, Mitch, with things being a little different, doing more mixing than anything, do you still pick up the guitar quite a bit?
Oh yeah, I play all the time. I mean, I only ever started recording so that I could record myself, and that's the story of about everybody that does this. And so, of course, the studio slowly takes over all your time. But I really, 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 really like to play, and I really like to write songs and record them. So I'm hoping if I ever finish this batch of mixes that I will get back to that. And actually, right at the beginning of when the studio closed, we had to cancel some sessions, and I did come in and work some, and it was really great. And then I had to get back to business with, other people's sessions. But yeah, I play every day.
Well, I'm
I haven't
curious.
gotten better, but I'm hoping someday maybe I will.
I'm curious. Do you plug in and rock out in the studio, or do you plug in and rock out in the house?
Actually, I don't plug in. I never did plug in unless I'm really actually playing a show.
Okay.
It's weird because I just really like playing an unplugged in electric guitar.
Yeah.
And that's enough noise.
Well, that's neat to hear. I do quite a bit of that myself. I have a family I have to think about their ears and the animals and everything else.
I know. I was just reading about Wes Montgomery's style. Wes Montgomery, the beautiful sounding, fantastic guitar player, and he had that lovely soft tone. And apparently that was because he was I didn't know that he was a welder in the daytime and practiced at night, and he played like that so that it wouldn't bother anybody. And then he developed that as his way of playing.
That's amazing. That's especially amazing because he was in the welding business, because people who weld often lose fingers.
He was a careful guy, I guess.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Well,
apparently he was a very good welder.
Oh, so. Well, that's
yeah.
Happy for us and for him. Yeah. Ella, do you have a question?
Yeah. So, we like Let's Active in this family, and I was just wondering, how did you meet the members of Let's Active? That's a good question.
Well, Faye Hunter, the bass player, was my girlfriend from when I was like 15, and she didn't play in bands or anything like that. And then she just sort of started doing that. And then, so she was kind of a natural musical talent, she decided to play bass, and then like the next day she was a bass player, sort of. Wow. So there was that. But I didn't have a band going on at all. And all my friends were away in other bands, and I knew I had to kind of have a fresh start. So it's like, well, Faye and I should do something together. And then we met Sarah Rumweber, the drummer, when like two different people almost simultaneously said, "You should see this girl play in Carborough who is really amazing, and she should be in your band." And it's like, who is this? And I heard about this from two different people, and we went to see R.E.M. play at the station, and she was there, and that's when I met her. So we had to really talk her into playing with us. But then she did, and that was our band. And it was really good for me to play with people that were not part of my old scene, even though I'd never expected that. Usually you just go naturally from your one batch of friends to the next, but this was sort of completely new territory, at least musically, to play with them. And it made me a lot more, it's made me better, made me think about everything again in a new way. So that was it. It was really fortuitous and different from, my previous bands, but that's how it came about.
Now, did you ever play the station?
I never did. And I only went to a couple of shows there, but that R.E.M. show was great. It was kind of before they were famous, and it was just like a big open floor. At that time, it was like a barn dance.
Yeah. The station's been sort of a common denominator for a lot of our guests. They either played there back then or they've played there in the recent incarnation of the room.
Yeah.
We played there. In fact, that was our last show before the pandemic. We were there in early March. One thing I was going to mention was that, we sort of pride ourselves in having sort of the mold that Let's Active had, in that, a male guitar player with an all-female rhythm section. So when Lila started out on drums, we always tell people, and it's true, that she was technically having to ride in the car seat when we drove places. She didn't weigh enough to actually sit in the seat belt. So after 4 years, she's finally grown up enough where her legs are as long as any drummer that she meets now.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, music is something that like you can do a lot of ways. You don't have to do it the way somebody else did it. And people figure out incredible ways to do things. I mean, you can be totally standard or totally non-standard. Yeah. In the studio career, I've seen a lot of people come in here with really crazy drum sets. It sort of just looks like a pile of junk from the garage, and then they play it and it's music. That's a great thing about all this.
Did you see the guy playing drums with Jack White on Saturday Night Live last week?
No, I didn't see that. Everybody says that guy's really great.
Yeah, his drums are slanting the other way.
Oh,
He had to lean
you mean like
over.
away from him?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
yeah.
Do you think he just likes a challenge, or maybe he's going for a lot of rim action?
I don't know. I think he was sitting up really high like Ringo did,
Oh yeah.
so it was easy to access, but yeah, he was leaning over to do the tom and stuff, which was kind of interesting.
That's so cool.
And he had his floor tom to the right of the rack tom.
Okay.
But yeah. Very interesting.
I mean, my studio motto has always been as long as sound comes out, right?
Yeah.
So, sounds like sound came out, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. The first comment I saw about that show from anybody was like, how terrible it was, and then I've seen like 1,000. This is the best thing I've ever seen on Saturday Night Live. So I'm assuming it was good.
Yeah. I think people are just not used to the rawness of rock and roll these days, and that's exactly.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I
Lila,
guess
do
the
you have a
last rock
question?
show I saw was the Rock and Tours when they played over in Raleigh. Maybe it was a year ago or something. And they were so rock and roll, and it was like, oh yeah, that you don't see that every day,
That's right. That's right. Lila, do you have a question?
Well, I actually would like to mention that we do we actually do a Let's Active song. We do Every Word Means No, and we have a lot of fun with it.
Oh well, as we say in the South, bless your heart. I hope that I'm not giving y'all headaches or anything afterwards.
Oh no, I love to play it,
It's so
but I've never quite figured out how Faye did the bass solo kind of thing at the end.
Oh yeah.
My version of it, but hers is really quite amazing.
Well, feel free though, because the thing is that was just a thing that happened, and that was the thing I always wanted to do. I wanted to write songs that were written, they were pretty well defined, but then within that, it was open, So the next take, if we had done another take of that, she would have done something different. So that's legit. The thing is, when you buy a record, you get used to the part, and it sounds like it's the right part.
Yeah.
But it could be something else. So I someday hope to hear your version.
Oh, thank
Cool.
you.
We'll send you a link sometime so you can hear it.
Oh, so have you recorded it?
Well, we've done this thing where we have we have like 3 or 4 video cams in the house, which are really just iPhones, and we run it into my computer. But I run the audio from the PA into GarageBand, so some of our rehearsals sound pretty good.
Yeah.
It's getting better anyway. Getting better all the time.
So I have a question for you. I've noticed that you've sold a couple of guitars lately, but I assume that's so you can buy other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you were asking me, have I sold any?
Yeah, and I'm assuming that you're going to replace them, though. I mean, we always do this with the idea that we're going to thin the herd.
That's
but
right.
We do that, really.
Absolutely. Well,
We
I
just
made them.
changed them.
I wouldn't say the mistake, but I kind of got ahead of myself and ordered the guitar I want.
See? Good move.
Yeah.
Can it
But
be
I
revealed
did.
what that is?
What's that?
Can it be revealed what that is?
It's sort of the newer version of a Gretsch Nashville.
Okay.
It's called a 6220, 6620, except it has a tortoise pickguard instead of a gold one.
Sounds lovely.
I've never seen anything like it. At least that it looks a lot like an old Nashville in most of the ways.
And this is a new model.
Yeah. I guess for $500 more, I could have gone to a model that everybody knows, but this one just had an interesting look to it, and I decided to go for it.
Distinctiveness is always a plus.
Yeah, I did actually go to Heyday, and I did sell a Jazzmaster to help finance it.
Oh yeah, that was a nice looking guitar.
Yeah. It might be there still. We're going there to visit Jeffrey Dean Foster tomorrow.
Yeah, so what is that? They're doing a show that's just a video shoot?
Yeah, it's a video shoot, and he wants them to be the band, so I'm just going to sit there and wear the mask and be the dad.
Cool.
Watch.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm interested in seeing. He's got some really interesting ideas of the style and how it should look, so it'll be fun to see how that plays out.
Cool.
Yeah. I think that might be all I had question-wise. Girls, did you have everything that you wanted to ask Mitch?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lila usually handles our sign-off, so it's her turn to weigh in with that.
Okay then. Well, Mitch, thank you for taking time to chat with us today. We really wish we had more time, but hopefully we can catch up again with you soon. And if you ever want to like talk with us again or do another Zoom, we'd totally be up to that. And you're welcome to just come on the show anytime, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much. It was great talking to both of you. Really appreciate it.
And now, a song by Will Rigby.
Right back. I'm never gonna write back. Forever I might write to you and never send it to, because you don't deserve to read the words. In a flash, my heart went out and got smashed. You told me that I wrote with dash. Now my hopes have crashed and my email cache is trash. Right back. I'm never gonna write back. I guess I knew that I was telling you goodbye. Surprise, surprise, I didn't see it in your eyes that I was provisional. We were divisible, not a metaphysical thing. Right back, I'm never gonna write back. I guess I knew that I was telling you goodbye when I didn't reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my letter. If that was all that it took to let you off of the hook, are you grateful that I made you feel better? Never should have written the letter. Right back where I started on the wrong track. How could I have seen before, laughing on your porch, I would have to carry a torch? Guess what? Now you know how tough I'm not. I didn't want to lose so soon. Do you remember the moon that we found among the clouds? Right back. I'm never gonna write back. Guess I knew that I should have known that I was telling you goodbye when I didn't reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my letter. If that was all that it took to let you off of the hook, aren't you grateful that I made you feel better? Never should have written that letter. Wish I never mailed the letter. I'll never reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my letter. Never reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my letter. Never reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my letter. Never reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my reply to your reply to my
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this is the first time we've done an interview on the porch, and I think I like it. It involves more microphones and cameras, but I think that...
Very impressive array.
well, Will, we met you as a family, about 4 years ago when you were playing Kinks songs with us in the Kinks band?
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, that means Lila was 9, Ella was 13.
Yeah.
And, so we became friends, and then over time, we started Secret Monkey Weekend just about the same time. And so basically, the most recent thing was the collaboration that we did. It sort of led to a collaboration of a song. Will you tell us a little bit about how that song came about?
Oh, yeah. I don't really know how I got started on that. I was wanting to write a song for Secret Monkey Weekend, and I started some gibberish. Got a lot of nada type of things, and it just grew out of that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really finish it, so I just gave it to y'all and let you finish it.
Well, we're glad you did, and it was one of those things where I think at some point after we finished it, you came back and said, "Where's the second verse?" And it's like, I thought that was the second verse. So, are there still some missing lyrics somewhere out there?
I think I misremembered.
Okay.
That how much I had written.
Okay.
Which was not a whole lot.
Okay. Well, anyway, it was something that was fun for us because it was our first collaboration in that way, and we've done.
I've seen Secret Monkey Weekend more than most people.
Yeah,
I've seen y'all a bunch.
Well, we're
very
happy
honored
to have you. Plus, I would love to be able to play some music with you when the time is ready to go back and play live shows, but unfortunately, we're kind of stuck in this situation.
Yeah, we are. Well, I'm mostly a drummer, and you've already got one of those.
Yeah, well,
you don't need me.
Well, I think maybe we could work it out where you could get behind the drums for a song and bring Lila up front, let her be the front person.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be nice. And she's learning some stuff on bass, so she might steal my job.
Now I could play guitar.
And then you'd be the singer?
Well, I can play some guitar, so and a teeny tiny bit of drums, but I'm not as good as her.
Okay. Well, anyway, so when you started working on that song, Will, did you start on guitar, or how did you start that?
In my head.
In your head.
I never really got as far as... I don't play guitar, so it would have been a keyboard, but I didn't even get that far.
Right.
It was just like me kind of humming. I never even really got a melody.
Yeah.
I didn't get very far on it.
Well, I know when we sat in we sat in your backyard that day, and you had the, you said, I think try going from G and then to A, or A to G, I forget which. And that was about the direction we took it from there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I didn't really have a melody or much of anything. I just had a little bit of words.
Yeah. So what have you been doing in the, since March, since this unusual time hit us?
Staying home an awful lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I've been going to the grocery store a whole lot less, but pretty much in nowhere else. I actually finished and released a song, which for me is like shocking, because I hardly ever finish a song. And I've started a bunch of other ones, and I haven't finished.
Yeah.
I've almost finished one of them.
Yeah.
But I've got several more that are started. But for me, that's good. I haven't been writing various songs for many years, so for me to write it all is good. It's a step forward.
Yeah.
I've got a question. It's in a different direction, but what's it like to be lifelong friends with people that when you were learning your instrument, they were learning their instruments too? All the people in Winston-Salem. I know R.J. Reynolds was a high school, but I mean, we're talking elementary school.
Right, yeah. Peter Holzapfel was in third grade with me, and Bob Northcott.
Mm-hmm.
And he started taking guitar lessons like in, I don't know, third grade, fourth grade. Mm-hmm. I can remember he was already able to play entire songs pretty well in the sixth grade. I remember him being fairly at ease on a guitar by then already.
Yeah.
So he was way ahead of me. But As far as what it was like to like have friends that long, I think it's pretty unusual among people that I know. Not many have had friends since they were that young, but you know, what's it like not to? I don't know. That's just the way it was for us, and I feel pretty fortunate to have had friends for over 50 years. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
So were drums your first instrument?
Yeah, pretty close to only. I mean, I play some keyboards, but even my keyboard playing is fairly rudimentary, and I just never got it together to get a left-handed guitar. I'm just never did it.
I think I was reading something today. Of course, I've known this a long time. You know, Elizabeth Cotton. She was left-handed. She just turned it over like Hendrix and just, you know.
No, I didn't know that.
Invented an upside-down way to play, basically. Yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering if, outside of music, if you have anything you're really, really passionate about.
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I am a bit of a collector of stuff, and most of it's like records and CDs and stuff, but I also collect postcards. Well, I used to collect maps. I used to have a very large map collection. I had to get rid of a lot of that when I moved, but I've started collecting them again. And let's see, I have a collection of match packs. I would just say like the collecting bug is just something you're kind of born with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of little collections of stuff. I have a collection of stuff from Holiday Inn. My prize collection is like a fly swatter with the Holiday Inn logo on it. But like, you know, cups and towels and pens and all that stuff. But several years ago, Holiday Inn came out with a book called About the Towels We Forgive You, talking about people that had taken stuff from their Holiday Inn rooms over the years and years and collected them. And I have to admit, I'm going to admit it on camera right now. I took one of those books from the Holiday Inn, and I'm in it because they like somehow I found out that they were making the book, and they were soliciting people's recollections, and I sent one in, and it's in the book.
Wow.
So I figured I
gotta
should have
read
it.
this.
Well, it's not much to read, but anyway, that's a book that I'm in.
Wow. I don't know if this is a dumb question, but is it illegal to take things from hotel rooms?
Well, now it's a lot easier for them to like have like a computer list of what's in there, and if you know, if you take the bedspread, they'll know it's missing, and they'll just charge your credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back in like the earlier days,
Oh my goodness. Let's just set it back up. I think it'll still work. Yeah, that's the chickens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
You see foxes.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be interrupted by the chickens, but we were interrupted by a Maybell knockover. I hope I had the camera on the...
There's always one kind of animal.
Yeah. You know, because, you know, you haven't been able to play live. Do you actually play drums on a regular basis at home, especially during this stay-at-home stuff?
Not really. I've played more at home than zero, which is like the way it's been for years.
Yeah.
And that, even doing that took some, like we had to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff to even have room to set up drums. We just had like a room full of storage, and we've cleared it out enough to set up a drum set, but not enough to set up a whole band.
I see.
So it's a work in progress. But I wouldn't say I do it very often.
Yeah.
I've definitely done it more now that there's no other way to do it. But I basically do it when I'm getting ready to record something, as I'll set it up and play.
I know that when Florence was rehearsing back in, what was it, March, when you guys played the station, you rehearsed at Alex's place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of times.
Yeah. Well, when it's safe to do so, you can certainly rehearse here if you want to.
Yeah.
We're set up for it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I guess I'm a little disappointed that the chickens didn't make enough noise here. I was just over Will's left shoulder.
Throw something at him.
His right shoulder are some chickens, about five hens, right, Lila?
Yeah, I took care of them.
Will, tell us a little bit about the video clip you sent us.
Okay, so the song is Right Back. It's recorded by the DBs. I wrote it. The record came out in 2012, so it's not new. But an old friend of mine made the video for it. Her name is Emily Hubley. Her sister, Georgia Hubley, is the drummer in Yola Tango. And she's been making animated video her entire life. That has been her entire career, is making animated videos. Her parents were animators, and her father, their father, Emily and Georgia's father, John Hubley, was an animator on, well, he worked for Disney pretty early. He worked on the first full-length one, Snow White,
Yes,
I think.
Snow White.
But he also quit pretty early. Over at Emily's house, they have a sign from back then, like a Disney union sign saying unfair to workers. I think it was dated 1935.
Yeah.
So he was like kind of too lefty to stay at Disney. But he also was one of the creators of Mr. Magoo, which was a pretty big comic starting in the 50s, cartoon. And then he did like some more artsy type of animations, which he won a couple of Oscars, but I don't really know what for. If they were for like the more commercial stuff or the more artsy stuff. There's a really great one with Dizzy Gillespie. That like it's about him recording, Dizzy Gillespie recording the music for an animated commercial. It's pretty funny. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Emily Hubley because she made this video for the DBs for my song.
Yeah. So did you said Emily also did the video for Big Brown Eyes?
Yes, she did a video for Big Brown Eyes, kind of as a surprise. She just presented it to us as a finished product.
Yeah.
Didn't even tell us she was doing it.
Right.
Back in 1981. It might have been 1982. I can't really remember. But that was just about the first cartoon she ever did. It was, she wasn't very far out of college then.
Right. Okay. Well, Will, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Secret Monkey Weekend.
Yeah, well, we consider you a wonderful friend, and it's just nice to have you on our porch.
Thanks for having me.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a pleasure. Thank you.
So here we are on the final episode of... Wow, this is sad. I'm going to miss this. Maybe we can just do some and just stockpile them for next spring. Anyway, this is... who's this belong to?
I guess yours?
Yeah, this was the first Live at the BBC compilation that came out. I think it was 94. This is really good. I love it.
I used to have that poster on my wall.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got a lot
I
of
did
conversations too,
Yeah.
but it's really pretty good quality stuff. Okay. All right.
Also yours, I'm assuming?
this is another one that I think I inherited from a yard sale. I love it. It's great, but it's got a lot of the same stuff I think that Meaty Beaty Big and Bouncy had. But you know, Neil Diamond Gold.
Yours again?
This one again. I think this is another inherited one, like maybe from, I don't know, maybe an old girlfriend or something. I don't know. But yeah, I love a lot of these tunes. I love that era. In fact, that's probably my favorite era of him. Skaggs. I can't remember what is the front. I guess that's the front. Silk Degrees, maybe? Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's in a very small print. Silk Degrees. I think this had Lido on it. Lido Shuffle. Oh, gosh, I don't see the titles. The song titles.
They're there.
What can I say? Yeah,
Lido
Georgia,
Shuffle.
Jump Street. What do you want the girl to do? Harbor Lights. Lowdown. Lowdown got played a lot. It's Over, Love Me Tomorrow. Lido Shuffle. Yeah, this was a big album. I liked it a lot. Liked his voice. The Ventures.
Yours?
Yeah, I got this from the Columbia Record Club. And I don't really remember whether it's some of their vintage recordings or it's some kind of oddball compilation, but
There's a
I did play it a lot.
Rolling Stones.
Made in the Shade. Who's this?
Yours?
Yeah, that was like a 70s compilation that came out. I think it was mostly 70s stuff. Yeah. Brown Sugar, like the early 70s. Yeah, this is a pretty good, this is a decent compilation.
Happy's there too. That's
Yeah. I like all these songs. All right, George
Harrison.
Yeah, whose is this?
Yours?
Yeah, this is mine. I got it maybe the day it came out. I was
wow.
big George Harrison fan around 79. Blow Away was the big hit from this one. Love Comes to Everyone. It had a good sound. It was almost like a comeback album. Or no, it was the follow-up to 33 1/3, but it was still quite good. It was, soft rock, but I liked it a lot. All right, now.
The Georgia Satellites?
Yep. Dan Baird was actually talking about this EP when we had him on his show, our show. And I think he said the Keep Your Hands to Yourself was the same recording. It was just a different mix that made it onto the big, I don't know what them, Elektra. I forgot what label they were on. But yeah, this was great. And of course, I used to see Dan with the Woodpeckers, and most of these songs he brought with him to play with the Woodpeckers. This was just so cool to see this when it came out. All right, Squeeze.
Yours.
Yep, I think I got this one not long from the day it came out. I think I got this one in the DB's second album, maybe the same day. I can't remember. Was it DB's first album or DB's second album? Anyway, I remember buying them the first day. This is such a great album. And of course, I think this is the one that has Tempted on it. In Quintessence is a great opening track. Someone Else's Heart, Tempted, Heaven.
Labeled with Love is great.
Yeah, we've played a lot of these in the car, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Leonard Skinner.
I'm gonna guess that's Daddy's.
No, it's mine, I think. I mean, unless he's got a copy, but I remember getting this. This was a good live album. This was with their new guitar player, Steve Gaines. So, yeah, this was a pretty rocking album. This is some sort of news compilation with Edward R. Murrow, Columbia Records. Any idea who this is?
Is it maybe something you inherited?
Yeah, exactly. I might have gotten it from a neighbor when, he died. I got a lot of his records. Thank you. I'm sure I'll listen to this sometime.
You have Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh.
Seriously, folks.
Yeah, a lot of his album titles had really funny, themes to it.
I like
See,
his
he's in the
cover.
pool.
Yeah.
I think this has Life's Been Good on it. That was, let me see.
Yeah,
Trying to see what.
one there.
Do you see it?
Yep, at the end.
Yeah, at the station, got played a lot on the radio. Is that a bug? Yeah, that's a bug. Anyway, well, that's a great way for us to end a season of I Want My Daddy's Records with Joe Walsh. Hold it up. Oh, you hold. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll show you. Do you know that song, Life's Been Good? I'll play it on my guitar for you later. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks another week or another year I want my daddy's record.